Welcome back to First Things First. Time for us to go viral. See, you were in Canton for Hall of Fame weekend. You caught a heated debate between Michael Irvin and our own Shannon Sharpe. It was quite entertaining. Take a listen.
Mike, sounds like a little jealousy, Mike.
We can put it on the ground, whatever how you want. But we know. We can put it to the fans.
Shannon, what kind of weight you holding right now? You're looking kind of tight.
I'm 245. He said he 220. And who looked the best?
Mike,
put it on the ground.
Mike, tell the people something.
Put it on the ground.
Put it on the ground?
What?
Uncle Shay?
Uncle Shay against Mike Irvin. Who in better shape right now? Here, let me read this right now. I am proportionally built perfectly. You understand that? Proportionally he's built perfect, but still not in better shape than me. And he's perfect. But what about? Hey, the man said I'm built perfect. But not better than me. I ain't hear nothing else after that. But I'm built perfect. That's all I need. Better than me.
If Mike Irvin has a perfect body, Shannon has like a Greek god. I mean, good.
It's like an Adonis.
Yeah.
All right, I know this is probably not many people's takeaway. People probably take away the conversation or Shannon's orange pants honoring the Broncos. But what's going on with my man Michael Irvin's hair, see?
Man, all of a sudden, Michael is, he's trying to count his money. He told me he's tired of paying for a haircut every week, leaving his nice hair on the ground. So he gonna start letting his hair grow and everything. I said, bro, we can't go around looking like that, man. Look like we had a long weekend. Look like we've been on a binge or something, man. Yeah, he has some choice words for me, too.
Oh, I believe it. Of all the places to save your money, Playmaker, the $25 a week haircut is going to save up.
Oh, man, it was hilarious. Hilarious. Just watching them behind the scenes with them. I have a few other videos and stuff. I'd show you guys.
All right, we'll unveil as the week goes on.
Well, something not TV. Just for my friends. Yeah.
What up, Toby?
Maybe one day I might have to sell them to TMZ.
On to the big news out of Patriots camp this week, as their quarterback of the past and present is now their quarterback of the near future. Six-time Super Bowl champ Tom Brady, who just turned 42, reportedly agreed to a 2-year, $70 million extension, making him just the 6th highest paid quarterback this season. Yesterday he tweeted, "I got a chance to hold my draft card a few hours ago. Never forget where you came from." All right, CC, we talked all last week what the Patriots are going to do with Tom Brady. We know he wants to play till 45. That's 3 years. They gave him a 2-year deal. What do you make of it?
Oh, before that, were you holding back on us last week a little bit? Trying to look like you were this all-seeing, all-knowing. Because we talked about this deal last week, and you're like, I just have a feeling he's going to get something done before the season starts. Then you're off gallivanting Canton with all these celebrity folks like yourself, and Brady gets his deal done.
Well, I have the full confession. Someone did tell me that potentially that Brady could be working on a new deal, but it was based on Belichick. So I was like, I didn't want to say that he's going to get a new deal because Belichick, he could have said no to the deal. Mr. Kraft has always wanted Tom to be in a Patriots uniform. They did not want him playing with that risk of injury out there on the last year as a lame duck quarterback at the age that he's at. So they did the right thing. But also, the Patriots were concerned about salary cap. I talked to one of their executives and everything, and Bill Belichick, he realizes he's in this unique time where he has the greatest quarterback ever, but he's got him at a hometown discount. And the number of other players he's been able to add because of that, and also in giving him this contract extension, Nick, as you pointed out, they create a salary cap situation that now they can go out and maybe pursue one or two, potentially one other big free agent.
Right. So Tom Brady gets, in addition to 2 years added on to the end of his deal, $8 million of extra cash this year. So of that 70, he's getting $8 million of it this season. But because of the way they structured it, that also creates an extra $5.5 million of cap space. That go along with they already had about 9. Now you're close to $15 million in cap space if they wanted to trade a first-round pick, which is what I think it would take to go get Trent Williams. Then all of a sudden,
I had never even thought about that.
Because he's not showing up in Washington. They're not going to pay him, it would appear. Washington has odd management system, let's call it that. Trent is an all-pro player. Patriots had Nate Solder. They let him walk out the door to the Giants, paid him a ton of money. They made do with Trent Brown. He then got the biggest deal ever for an offensive lineman. It looks like he's going to play right tackle in Oakland. And now they have Isaiah Wynn, a first-round pick from a year ago, coming off a torn Achilles, if they could slide him over to the right side, because there have been talks that the Patriots are one of the teams that have at least been calling around with Trent Williams. So,
and that would really fit what they're trying to do. From week number 16 throughout the playoffs, they were a running team, a dominant team. You talking about Trent Williams, you talking about being physical? Man, that's right up that's his style of football.
But I just want to, for the context of what just happened here, Tom Brady, now he wants to play this year +3. He's now under contract for this year +2. The Patriots just signed a quarterback, and I'm sure they'd be able to get out of it, but they just signed a quarterback for an average of what looks like $35 million a year for his age 43, pardon me, and 44 seasons. And no one thinks it's a bad idea. Ty Law just got in the Hall of Fame. It was a brilliant career. But what he's most remembered for is that time with New England, winning those Super Bowls with Tom Brady. He has now been retired long enough that he's in the Hall, and Brady's signing contract extensions.
Yeah.
I mean, he is having the longevity of a kicker as a quarterback in the modern NFL.
But, Nick, you weren't wrong, because Bill Belichick, when you said this 2 years ago, 3 years ago, Bill Belichick thought the same thing. Now, he gave Brady a little incentive package last year to be able to get him through the season. But Brady didn't make those incentives. And to me, Brady, through the last 3 years of that Super Bowl run, 3-year run where they've been to the Super Bowl and they won 2 of them, he proved to Belichick to be able to get this deal. So even Tom Brady has to continue to prove himself to people, and more importantly, to Belichick.
How important are the weapons around Tom Brady going to be to his success and the team's success this year? I know they're the much improved defense.
Well, they'll have Edelman back, which is obviously Brady's favorite weapon. See, you talked to some Patriots about that first-round pick, N'Keal Harry. The first time Belichick has drafted a receiver in the first round since he was the head coach of the Browns in the mid-90s. So you can talk about what N'Keal Harry can do, but what the Patriots are going to do, I would imagine, is try to be a top 5 defense with a quarterback who they know can channel individual greatness.
Yes, they're going to play to their defense. They're going to continue. Coach Mangini tells us all the time, there's no carryover from one season to the next. Well, not for New England. I guarantee you the first game, they're going to look a lot like they did in the playoffs. You talking about vanilla? They got no Gronk, Edelman. How far can he run? How far? They're not going to throw him the ball deep down the field. So for me, the key is how much easy yardage or deep passing will they be able to develop as the season goes on? Because right now, there is not a guy on that roster. If that ball is 20 yards in the air, late in the fourth quarter, Tom Brady has built up confidence through the years that I'm getting ready to release this ball. The way he's done it to Gronk, the way he's done it to Hogan, and a couple other guys the last couple of years. Cordell Patterson, even Josh Gordon. There is no one. Edelman, yes, the short stuff, he's very, very comfortable. But if they take that away, they have a problem of how they're going to move the ball. N'Keal Harris, I believe, after talking to Herm Edwards, who coached him there at Arizona State, he compares him to Dez Bryant. That lets you know he don't have great long speed, so he's not going to be that deep target. They're going to try to develop him as a first down guy that can move the chains, run comebacks on the outside, and develop him over the next couple years. Nick.
And just real quick, this is year 19 of this Patriots dynasty. They now, with the Brady deal, have almost every viable contributor, name you know, locked up through year 20. For this year and next year, they have Brady, all their running backs, Edelman, Harry, the wide receiver we're talking about, and 4 of their 5 offensive linemen locked up. On defense, Michael Bennett, Dante Hightower, the best D lineman and linebacker, and their entire secondary except for Devin McCourty. All those players locked up for this year and next year. So if you're getting sick of this Patriots team, this is the Patriots team you're going to see this year and in all likelihood in 2020 as well.
That means we'll be happy, Jim.
Yes, we will. Moving on, Tom Brady's new deal may indirectly help the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas trying to get a deal done with Dak Prescott, and with Brady taking less money than he could have, the Cowboys have an example of a great quarterback sacrificing to win Super Bowls. Important to note, Dak Prescott not, and I repeat, not married to a supermodel who makes $20 million per year. Jerry Jones thinks that Dak and Brady have a lot in common. Take a listen.
It is the best example of what you can do with a quarterback that has leadership and skills and work ethic. And Brady is all of that. And without catching the saying something Dak doesn't want me to say. Dak enjoys many of those same kinds of skills, and they came from about the same place in the race, from the back of the pack. And so that's what's interests me about here he is 2 years later. If only that could happen.
You don't think about that Brady team-friendly deal, too?
Huh?
About Brady's team-friendly deal, too?
Well, we won't get into that.
All right, see, what do you make of Jerry Jones comparing Dak Prescott to Tom Brady?
I can understand what Jerry's doing. Jerry has been an owner that always publicly issued a lot of confidence in the player that he was talking about and or his team. And specifically with Dak, he's done a tremendous job because Dak replaced Tony Romo. They didn't think Dak was who he was and have that rookie season that he had. But ever since then, he has said the types of things that Dak should feel that he's the quarterback of the future. But as far as Tom Brady's concerned, because I know 19, 20 years, it can be hard. People remember what they want to. But Tom Brady could always throw the football. The reason why Bill Belichick didn't have him throwing it early because he didn't have any experience. But I do remember Tom Brady in the Super Bowl game-winning drive, when Charlie Weiss was giving him the plays for the 2-minute warning. They had told him don't lose the game. And Drew Bledsoe told him after they broke the huddle, go out there and win yourself a Super Bowl, Tommy. Go out there and win the game. And the reason why, Tom Brady could always throw the football. He's never been a dual threat. He's always been able to throw it. So he always had a good arm. He always had good anticipation. But he's so accurate with the football, and he's developed, his arm has gotten stronger as he's played. So I can understand Jerry trying to put confidence in his quarterback and also trying to justify this big deal that he's getting ready to give him. But Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback we've ever seen. I could understand if he said he's like Russell Wilson early in his career.
Yes.
But then he still would have come up short because there aren't guys in this league who are elite who can't throw the ball. There ain't no dual threat guy who's elite. There ain't no game manager, Andy Dalton guys who are elite. We have too many big-time arms. It's the best throwers we've ever had collectively, top to bottom in the league. I just would pick someone else to compare him to.
And listen, Russell Wilson, if Dak's lucky, he will at one point be as good as Russell Wilson was almost instantly. But it's plausible. Dak has great intangibles like Russell Wilson. He's incredibly durable like Russell Wilson. He is, and I'm not just doing the black quarterback comparison thing, but he also has shown some mobility, not Russell Wilson's elite mobility, but some mobility. And if Jerry had said, why can't this year's Dallas Cowboys be like the Seahawks in Russell's second year, where they had a great running back in Marshawn Lynch, a really good defense. We love our defense. We gave DeMarcus Lawrence that money. Our two linebackers, Van Der Esch plus Jalen Smith. Sean Lee's still there. Byron Jones, all-pro corner. Good offensive line, and we're going to trust our quarterback in the big spots to make a few big plays. That to me would be plausible. Comparing him to a guy who's going to lap the field at the greatest at his position is, of course, unfair. And, by the way, it also, I'm sure, whomever Dallas's money manager is, has got to be saying, you got to be kidding me, Jerry. Like I'm talking to his agent today. You're comparing him to Tom Brady today. What are you doing, man?
We got to go. Undisputed starts right after this. Have a good day, everyone.